I'm Jane from Lucy's Place, and today I'm in my sewing room at home rather than the studio. It's quite nice being able just to come upstairs and do some sewing, but the drawback is at the moment I don't have a design wall. So I'm having to lay things out on the floor. So I'm going to share a project that I'm doing at the moment. It's a panel that I bought and then I'm just adding to it. I'm just making it up as I go along at the moment. But what I thought I'd share with you was the block that I was making. So let's have a look. Okay then, so you can see it's laid out on the floor. This was just to give me some idea of how many blocks I needed and sizes. So what I'm just going to do, I'm using a half clamshell block. I just wanted something that would have a block that would fit in with a sea theme. And then I saw a quilt with the clamshells in, and I thought that was really quite striking. And I thought, right, I'm bringing in some of this lighter colour, and then it will have a border, a darker border on it. So at the moment, it's just going to go down the sides. So, and then I'll see how much fabric I've got left, and I may put some blocks in along the top. I don't think I've got enough of the fabric to do that at the present moment, so we're just going to build it up with what I've got. So I thought I'd share with you the making of the block. Okay, so you can see I've got some pieces cut and laid out ready. Got the last piece to do. So because of the block that I'm using, I've cut myself some blocks 6.5 by 3.5 inches, and that will fit in the blocks that I'm wanting. I'm cutting them 2 at a time, and I'm laying them right side up. So what I did was, first of all, I cut out the dark ones because I had to mark those on the back. You can use the template straight away and use a rotary cutter to cut round it. However, the one that I've got here, the blade is too big to do that, so I'm just drawing around it and then cutting it out with scissors. I've put some double-sided tape here, left the top on. That's just because I haven't got any markings to show where the middle is, but I can make sure then by using this that I've got a straight line that's along the cut edge. So I've done my dark ones, and the thing that you want to do is just to make sure which side of your template that you're cutting, so and the direction that it's facing, so that it will fit in. So this curved bit here will fit in to the right area. Okay, so I'm using my washable marker, lining this up with the edge of my fabric so I know I've got a straight line. And then I'm just going to draw around the template, and then I can cut those out with scissors. So this block isn't that difficult to make, it's just a bit fiddly, and this is the only time really that I particularly pin. There we go. So I'm just going to cut round there. There we go. And the scrap bin. So I need one either side here. So I've made sure that I've got all my pieces laid out for my block. Let's put the pin back on there. Right, so what I'm going to do is bring these down so that I can reach them when I'm doing my sewing. But what I'll do, just to quicken things up, I shall pin 2 blocks together so that I can get them pieced and share it with you. So I'm going to first of all pin both the ends together, and you're fitting the concave bit, which is this inner curve, to the one that's going outer. So I'm just going to stick a pin in those. And then I'm just going to line up these edges and pin as I go. So what I tend to do as well is go from either side, just so that we can make sure it's even. So you're not leaving too far between the pins. There you go. And then I'm going to repeat this on the other two, the other pair for the other half. There you see, you can just there we go. So I'm going to repeat that with the other pair. Okay, so I'm going to start sewing these together. So, shut the needles down. You can, if you go slowly, go over the pins, as long as you're using straight pins, you haven't got ones that are bent. And the idea is you just want to go slowly around the edge, and if you've got a stiletto, you can use a stiletto. So I just use the point of my unpicker just to make sure that it holds the fabric down in place and I'm not going to get any tucks. Sometimes you just might need to ease in between the pins to make sure that the fabric is lined up. If you want to take the pins out as you go, wait till the last minute to take them out, so just before you get to them, just to keep the fabric in place, because otherwise it tends to spring back. So that's one, so I'm going to do my other one. Take your time, you can sort of just feed it round to follow the curve. I'm just going to do one more so that I can take those out of the back. So what you're going to do next, let's take those off the back. I'm going to take the pins out and I'm going to press my blocks. So let's get these pins out. Right, remember that you are pressing and not ironing because you don't want to stretch these out of shape. Right, so you can just see how they're going to fit in together there. So I'm just going to give those a press. So when I'm pressing from this side round to where the narrow edge, just I just find that easier. So now I'm going to fit the two together. So just like I do with any of my other blocks, I'm going to line up those centre seams, and again I'm going to press pin it. I'll put a pin in the centre, going to pin that end, and I'm going to come round and I'm going to pin the other end, and I end up pinning on the different sizes because I just find it easier to have the curved bit into facing me to pin it. So I do each half on opposite sides. That's that side done, and I'm going to go over, do this side. There we are, and then I'm going to sew this. Just following the curve round again. Go. So let's just take that off and take the pins out, and there we go. So just now need to press that, and then you have your half clamshell block. So I do hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to see or hear about the projects that you make use in it. I'm glad I've done it. I've often put off doing clamshell blocks and that because of the curves. I think we tend to put in our heads that they're more difficult than they actually are. If we just take the time, it's not as difficult. And I love with the half clamshell block is the variations in the patterns that you can get by playing around with your placement. In fact, I may, so the template that I used was for a 6.5 inch finished block. I may get a bigger one. I can find a 10-inch one. I want to do some door curtains, and I just thought that might be a fun block to make. So I look forward to sharing that with you if and when we get to that stage. Do make sure that you subscribe to my channel. If you hit the bell below, you'll get notifications when new content is added. Look forward to speaking to you very soon, but in the meantime, do take care.